There's a lot that goes into determining whether or not you catch a Pokemon, and more than just the Pokeballs you throw at it. In this video, we're going to cover everything that you need to know about the formula, the mechanics, and what you can do to increase your chances of catching a Pokemon. So take your seats and let's get into it. Alright guys, first things first, the formula. Now the formula looks a little bit complicated, but when you break it down into its components, it's actually not that bad. So the formula itself is 1 minus the result of 1 minus the base catch rate divided by 2 times the combat power multiplier to the power of the multiplier. So we'll get to the multipliers in a second, so let's kind of set that aside. Alright, BCR stands for base catch rate, and every Pokemon has a base catch rate programmed into the game, and it's static and it doesn't change, but it is different for most Pokemon. I'll put a link in the description to my website where you can look up the base catch rate for Pokemon Go for every Pokemon. CPM, that's the combat power multiplier, and it's also a static rate, but it's determined by the level of the Pokemon that you're catching. So for example, a non-weather boosted raid Pokemon is level 20, so the CPM would be 0.5974. A weather boost pushes the Pokemon's level to 25, and that is 0.6612, and that's rounded, so I'm not even going to cover all the numbers there. So that's that. Alright, now let's get into the multiplier. So here's where it really gets kind of complicated, but again, you break it down, it's super simple. The multipliers consists of 5 separate values. They are metal, ball, berry, whether or not you threw a curveball, and the size of the circle depending on whether or not you hit that circle. So that's the nice, great, excellent throws. Let's look at each value separately, and then we'll put them all together at the end. So the metal is very straightforward. You have bronze is 1.1, silver is 1.2, gold is 1.3, and the newly introduced platinum is 1.4. Now the berries, 3 different berries have an effect on your catch probability. They are the raspberry at 1.5, the silver pineapple berry is actually a little bit better than the raspberry, and it's at 1.8, and the golden raspberry is 2.5. No berry, the nabob berry, and the regular pineapple berry all have a static value of 1. The curve is yes or no. It's did you throw a curve or did you not? So if you did throw a curve, you get 1.7. If you don't throw a curve, it's 1. And we'll get back to why this is so important later on in the video. The last one we're going to talk about, circle size. This is a little bit more complicated than the other values. The actual formula is 2 minus the radius of the circle. So the smaller the circle, the more of a bonus that you get. It's not just straight nice, great, excellent. It's if you get a super small, tiny, excellent throw, you actually get more of a bonus than the bigger, excellent throws. For simplicity's sake, nice throw gives you a bonus of 1.01 to 1.3. A great throw is a bonus of 1.3 to 1.7. An excellent throw gives you a bonus of 1.71 to 1.95. So again, the smaller the circle, the more bonus that you get, depending on if it's super small and you miss it, then you get 1. And that's it. So my favorite legendary Pokemon is Reshiram, so we're going to use Reshiram as an example. Let's start with the multipliers, because that's what we just talked about. So let's say, like we discussed earlier, you have a platinum fire metal and a gold dragon metal, which is coincidentally what I have right now. Still working on that dragon metal. So you average the 2 out, you get 1.35. Now it's a raid boss, so you're using a premier ball, so the bonus for the ball is 1. It's a raid boss and it's a legendary, so you're going to use a golden raz if you have them. If you don't, however, for this example, we're going to use a golden raz, so 2.5 for that. With the curveball, so you threw the curveball in there, 1.7. And let's say that you get a not great excellent throw, but an excellent throw, so we'll throw in 1.75 for the bonus there. If you multiply all of those together, you get 10.040625. So we bring that back into the main formula, plug it in there. We throw the base catch rate for Reshiram, which is 2%, so 0.02. Now, we're going to pretend that the Reshiram we're catching here is not weather boosted, so like we discussed before, 0.5974. All right, so now we got to simplify the formula based on the rules of math. So we take the 2 times the 0.5974, we get 1.1948. And then we divide that with 0.02, and you get the answer of 0.016739. Subtract that, 0.983, and then we take that to the power of 10.040625, which is what we got from the multipliers earlier, and we get 0.844. Subtract that, 0.156, and that is a 15.6% chance of catching the Reshiram. So you notice from that, it's a fairly low percentage. This is why it's so difficult to catch the legendaries that are in these raids, because all of them have a base catch rate of 2. Right? The EX raids have a much higher catch rate, but for the most part, legendary Pokemon have a base catch rate of 2, which makes them very difficult to catch in the raids. So, we've learned that even with all those multipliers, even with doing all those good things, it's still 15.6%. But what happens if we don't use a curve? So we're going to throw all the same multipliers that we did in there before, but instead of the 1.7 for the curve, we're going to put a 1. So let's quickly run through the rest of the math here. I'm just going to put it through, and there you go. Your actual catch rate is 9.63. Now, 9.63, that is 5.97% lower than just a curveball. So just a curveball increases your chances by 6% to catch that legendary. That's why curveballs are so important. It's not quite that simple though. Keen eyes would have noticed that an excellent throw is much better than the curveball throw. You get more of a bonus. That is true. However, a nice curveball is still better than an excellent straight throw. So that's why the curveballs are so important. I'm not saying that you have to go out there and master the curveball. I've seen plenty of people catch many legendary Pokemon straight throwing. There's no wrong way to play the game. There's no wrong way to catch Pokemon. If you can't get the curveball, you don't want to do the curveball, that's fine. And I'm not saying that you have to. I just want to make sure that everyone is equipped with the knowledge of how important this is. There are other things that you can do to increase your chances. The medals, for one. Catch everything. Honestly, this is the best way to get those medals up, is if it's a Pokemon and it's on your screen, catch it. It doesn't matter if you don't want it really. You can transfer it later, get the extra candy. Catching the Pokemon to bring your type medals up to platinum, super important. The other thing, obviously, use the better balls. Pokeballs, they're great. But if you have an opportunity, use a Great Ball, use an Ultra Ball for the ones that you really, really want. Don't be afraid to use your Golden Raz or your Silver Pineapples for Pokemon that you really, really want. And finally, I guess the other most important thing is to hit your circles, to hit your great throws, to hit your excellent throws. Hitting a great throw is more important than missing an excellent throw. So if you're not comfortable hitting the excellent throw, aim for the great circle. You'll still get a better bonus than you will if you hit nothing. And that's it for this one, guys. I hope you liked the video. I hope you learned something. I realize that you're not going to be out there in the field breaking out your calculator and figuring out the formulas, but you can use this formula to kind of give you a base understanding of why some Pokemon are so difficult to catch. Like I said before, I'll leave a link in the description to the CPMs and to the base catch rates to my website. Yeah, and that's it. I hope you guys found this informative. I hope you liked it. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you really like it, I'd like if you subscribed. And that's it. Class dismissed.